Hello, Sincello and Molbeck. All right, let's edit the today command. Adam is continuing to work on the massive list of pre-launch tasks for Skeleseller. Launch is March 17th. The wish list count at the beginning of this afternoon's stream is 9731. Let's get to 10K. I actually don't really think many people watching the stream will help get to 10K because they're probably already wishlisted. But who knows? Whatever. Maybe it'll generate some hype. And I hate coming up with stream titles. All right, so this morning we were looking through some issues. And now we are on apple trees follow-up work. Find fitting sounds for collecting the apples. Add apple spawner to more trees. I think we can just skip both of these things. What's the sound we have now? Oh, this is too large. Oh, it doesn't make a sound at all? No, something's got to be broken there. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, we got to figure that out. Root node needs to be inside the scene tree. Interesting. I don't know when that broke. Hey, Dark. I think first should go to whoever just says it. Whoever just wants it. You can have it. It's yours. I think something broke. But it's not this. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, let's take a look at this one. Create recycler, perks panel tab. Tab controller, set tab hidden. Cannot deselect tabs. Deselection is not enabled. What's even trying to do this? Oh, because the currently enabled tab is now hidden? Is this coming from loading? No. Huh. Huh. What is causing this? Build, create. Yeah, we just say build on this thing and it happens. All right, let's try that again. I wonder if you build the garbage line before the town hall that it happens. It could be that. Let's try it. There should be no error right now. Yeah. And now we click this and then this. And there's an error. Okay, now let's try it with the town hall first. No error. Okay, well, that's a bug. Building the garbage slime first causes this issue. All right, so what's going on here? Town, create, recycler. This isn't working. Let's close out of this. Create recycler. Okay, so it's coming from here. And then we get into perks panel tab in knit. Where's that? Unlocked recycler. Okay, that's probably coming from there. Perks panel tab. So we call show tab. Line 230. Yep, that's show tab. Okay, sounds good. Set tab hidden false. Then tab container. I don't understand this. I don't understand what the error even means. But since it only happens with the garbage slime perks, and since those show up by default, I wonder if that's what the issue is. Perks panel tab. Yeah, they're all right here. Maybe we need to disallow. Or we need to just allow deselection enabled. All tabs can be deselected so that no tab is selected. Click on the current tab to select it. Okay, let's just try that. I don't know, maybe that's a problem. New game. So far, so good. Yeah, no error now. Oh, but now you can click this to hide this. I don't like that at all. Well, I think this is maybe a bug. Deselect enabled. Hiding tabs, not updating tab container correctly. Yeah, this might be it. Hey, Katie. Good evening. Did you end up moving forward with Godot or Unity? I'm curious. After hiding all the tabs one by one, then unhide them. Tab and tab containers not correctly updated. Yeah, this is my problem too. Okay, and then they even made a PR. Did not update current tab index when all tabs became hidden. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, anyway, this is the bug, so I'm not going to try to fix this myself. So let's just file an issue on Skeleseller and say this is here. So, why is this a problem with getting the garbage slime first, though? Why doesn't this happen when you get the town hall first? I don't really care. Building the garbage slime first causes an error in the tab container. All right, the error is this. Stack. This is due to this Godot issue. Whoops. And I don't think this stack has any real impact. So I'm just going to close this for now. I just wanted us to be able to find this again in the future. Note that if we enable whatever that thing is called, this, the stack goes away, but then the player can hide all tabs on their own by clicking the currently selected tab. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's file this and then just immediately close it. It's not worth doing anything about. We could probably work around this by like setting deselect enabled when we unhide the tab, and it's just not worth it. Decided I'd leave my project in Godot to come back to, as it's really scoped anyway. Really small game loop to continue when I want to, but doing some Unity to learn to build up knowledge there. Either way, helpful because I'm still learning. Not stood still. Yeah. Okay, good. Good. All right, so now I think we're going to close this issue. So I don't think it's worth tackling either of these tasks. The sound is fine. It indicates that you're earning money, and having just 3 trees in the center of town is also fine. Even the players who discover these trees don't tend to click them for very long. Although we do have an achievement around them. All right, close. All right, what's the next thing? Add metrics. I reference this anywhere? Suggestions for achievements. This is still open. All right, I don't care about that. Which adventures people choose, how long people play for. This one I potentially want. How much money people earn in total or per minute, which skills people assign, resolution, quests. Yeah, so this is the only thing I potentially want to do, and we're just going to leave it for Steam for right now. Hey again, Torque. Become a billionaire off your games. Don't forget us little people. I'm going to forget all the medium-sized people, though, okay? So if your game has, like, full redstone support and you're, you know, hitting pretty good numbers on Twitch, I'll just eject you from my memory at that point. So, okay, here's something that I've always kind of thought about is some sort of like meteoric rise in wealth or fame and how it changes people. there are probably enough examples in pop culture of someone getting super wealthy and then doing something like scummy or bad. First of all, I don't think Skeleseller is on the path to like meteoric fame or success. I think it'll do okay. I hope it does well. But anyway, I'd like to think that if it does like crazy well, that I don't change too much. I still want to make another game after this. I think we'll probably change, like, if Skeleseller does really well, I think we'll change the budget for the next game. Because if it does poorly, then the budget would probably be like $1,000 or something. I don't know. But if it does well, it could be higher than that. Anyway, so yeah, if it does well, we'll change the budget for the game. I'd probably still stream. I probably would just work on Skeleseller for longer. I'm not sure. Gaming Godot is stuck in an island manager 3D node where it swaps a child out for other islands. Where I load a starter island and ready and switch islands, the original island remains. Frustrating, but it's a learning opportunity. Huh, the original one remains. I was going to say, it sounds like you're not switching the old one. One thing that would be helpful is when you run your game, this part on the left side of the editor, or at least it's left by default, you might have moved it. But anyway, it'll just say local. If you click remote, you can actually inspect the scene tree of the game. So right now I'm on the title screen. We can look at this and see there's the title screen. And if I want to, I mean, this is just like how Unity works. But if I want to from here, I could go change something. So like this. This is, where are the buttons? All right, here we go. So this has story mode. I could change this to something else. Whoa, this types really weirdly. Yeah, and now you can see at the bottom right, it says something else. So like you could maybe figure out, is your island still there? Why is it not getting freed? That sort of thing. Hopefully they didn't actually save anything. Let's just say it's unsubbed. He predicted being dissatisfied. Again, Sarah Hagodik. Having worked as a consultant with a lot of sea levels, wealth just amplifies your inner nature. I think he'll be just fine. Sorry, I had a funny joke idea response in my head, but I think it's only funny as a joke in my head. Yeah, that's probably true. And yeah, I think things will probably be fine. The thing is, okay, so I don't want to go off on a total tangent here, but the other thing that I think about, so there's the drastic change in some life circumstance. So yeah, imagine that you got like super wealthy. And the other question I have is, suppose someone gave you like $10 million, and there's a question of what would you do? And I don't know that my life would drastically change. And like I said, I don't want to talk about this for too much. I have worked at some high paying jobs, so it's not like we have no money. It's not like we don't like super thoroughly budget when we go to the grocery store or something. It's like we just kind of live our lives, and yeah, it's not like we're on, gold plated floors over here or something, but it's not like we're, rolling in money. So I don't know how my life would change in that case. I do think if I had that much money that I would probably fly business class everywhere because I hate flying as it is. So that's a change. But yeah, I don't think like the food I eat would change very much. I don't think how we live our lives would change very much. I don't think there are certain hobbies that I want to get into that I can't get into because of money. I'm not really interested in those hobbies. So yeah, I'm not sure a lot would change. What kind of game are you looking forward to making next? So the next game, I'll just give you a high level idea of it. It's probably gonna be like an adventure comedy game. And I have no idea how I would market this thing. So this is one of the things I have in mind from the beginning is like, how would I get people to play the demo and like the demo? What would the demo have to be? How would I communicate these ideas? So yeah, that's fine. It'd probably be 2D. Well, it might also have some 3D elements. It's going to seem like it's 50 different games when I'm done with it. Dork. Hey, Wicked Lazy. Fly business class? You mean fly in your Skeleseller private jet? No, I hope I never get a private jet. for two reasons. One, I think it's really bad for the environment. And two, I never want to be traveling that much. I generally don't like flying around to begin with. I don't think so, Molback. Because, like, okay, so when I was at Google, I worked on call for, I don't know, like some small number of months. And you get paid extra for that time. And I said, I'll use this money like purely for fun stuff. And I spent money and I got a keyboard and I got like a wrist rest for the keyboard. And I think I got some switches or something for the keyboard. And that was pretty much it. Like that's what I spent it on. By the way, I did like the keyboard stuff. I liked getting into that. But I didn't want to be like, oh, let's get 10 keyboards or something. I don't know. It's not for me. Wow, fun. It is fun. You shut your mouth. Yeah, I read. All right, we handled that already. So where did I even leave off of this? Oh yeah, the metric stuff. Now how long people play for, I kind of want to track. This issue is essentially obsolete. We had some metrics from playtesters, and I just never really looked at them. And I'll probably delete the whole server. The only metric I still kind of want is the playtime, which Steam tracks already and even reports to me. It's not super granular though, so I can't tell how long people take to beat the game or how long their second playthrough might be. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, let's just close this. Did I just say shut your mouth? Yeah, I'm just kidding though. Hey, Leap Your Girl. Comedy game sounds like it's going to be very fun. I have kind of pitched the idea before, but I want to be a little bit careful about it. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I say this with no ill will, but I have a sneaking suspicion that what I do may influence other game devs already. And I think if Skeleteller is successful, I don't want to influence them more by steering toward a certain game that now other people go try to make maybe. So yeah, I want to be a little bit careful about what I talk about ahead of time, even though I'm probably going to develop the whole thing on stream again. And I had enough to feel good about it. I did start flying first class. That's my big splurge. Everything else is kept to middle class American spending. Watched too many who couldn't tell a lot from infinite wealth. Oh man. So the lottery winner stories are all crazy. They're all crazy. I guess you don't hear about the non-crazy ones. But they're like, oh yeah, I made a ton of money and then I started just giving out money to people or buying everything and I burned it all in like less than a year. And I just think, man, I guess a lot of the people who would win the lottery wouldn't have sort of good financial sense. The other thing too is the lottery kind of compounds things because when people find out that you won, they start holding out their hands for things. And yeah, it's kind of hard to say no to your friends and family. By the way, I don't think it's like, I think you should share some of your wealth, but I think it's like if you make a ton of money and then everyone's like, well, now I get 10%. It only takes 10 people before you have no money now. Current keyboard at my family's place has some stiff keys. Had to hit the delete and enter button perfectly straight. Very frustrating. You could probably fix those specific keys, some kind of lubricant on the keyboard, but you should consider getting a corn keyboard. There's some gatekeeping in business success, and there's some selection bias in lottery players. WD-40 it is then. So there is like keyboard key lubricant for mechanical switches, but I don't know what kind of keyboard you have. And if it's a rubber dome keyboard, I don't know. You'd be like lubing the plastic, I guess, not the rubber. Yeah. All right, we only capitalize elite some of the time. Search for elite with spaces. Change between saying elite monsters and elite. You know what? I'm not going to even do this. And this is kind of silly, but for one, no one's ever commented on this. And this is really inconsequential to begin with. Like if in one spot in the game we say defeat the elite monster, and in the other case we say enemy, it doesn't matter. But the other reason I don't want to fix this is because we use our English text as an identifier. So if I were to go change this now, let's say I change this string to this string, then all of the translated strings are going to change too, and I will lose the context and history. So I'm just going to say this isn't worth doing. It's practically inconsequential as it is. Well, let me do my favorite thing and make a bulleted list. No one has ever commented on it, and it will impact weblate/translations if I change the English source strings. And I don't want to spend time on that at this point. Yeah. Peak performance, Mediacom MCK 130. What is this? Oh, well, that's your problem. It's a mouse. You want one of these. I truly have not heard of this keyboard, so I'm assuming it's just some like random thing. Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a normal keyboard. You get a lottery advisor when you win the lottery, although it's your own money. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. 20% of the lottery money is gone anyways to tax. Yeah, although if any lottery is worth winning, losing 20% of it's probably not a big deal. I know that's not how human brains work. They're like, I want bigger number though. But like if you were to get 100 million and you actually got 80 million, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. Right up until you burn through all that 100 million in a year anyway. All right, I don't need to work on those. This I have a git stash for. This we've already fixed. So now we're on this one. Improve town menu, icons, and affordability indicator. Probably have icons rather than text. If we do, we should have tooltip on parent. We should probably use a small additional icon to indicate affordability rather than just change the color of the button. I don't think we're going to do any of this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't see a big enough reason to do this. Yeah. I know I'm closing a lot of these issues. That's intentional. The fastest way you can not have to worry about this issue is by deleting it. And that's valid sometimes. Plus, I'm sorting by the oldest issues. So this came about more than a year ago, January 2nd, 2025. And it was like, well, yeah, back then we didn't know what the game would look like or how many of these things we'd have there. Now we know. And it's like, it's fine. You get paid for when you go to the shop to buy one. If only I had 20 million more. What would you do, Toulouse? Toulouse, I had come back to Twitch and I was like, hey, what happened in your last 3 years? And you're like, oh, not really much. And you're like, oh yeah, we moved. So I feel like if you got 20 million, you wouldn't like drastically change. People said they'd be well off if they had 4x what they had now. Wow. Hey, Flair. I mean, 20 million pennies is still pretty good if someone just handed you that. Although hopefully not in pennies. That's probably a curse. I think if someone gives you 20 million pennies, you have a big problem on your hands. If a manually add filter involves your username to the issue search to find the issues you comment on. I just need to look through them all anyway. So I'm just going to look through them one by one. Remove thought bubble when customers leaving the town. Oh, yeah. I remember this one. I think this is still worth doing. Actually, wait a second. If they're in this state, doesn't this mean you can still give them the item as they're leaving? I never thought about that. Let's go try that. Seek specific item. Because now that you can manually drag items, we might not want to do this. So there's a thing here somewhere that controls this. Where is it? Hey, Corpsey. There's like a can seek specific. Where is this? Can seek specific item. Here it is. Okay, so this we're going to return true. And then the item, we're going to set the chance to 100. And in seek specific item, we get an item ID. And we're going to return item ID dot small blue potion. Oh, that's not a blue potion. Okay, so now they all want stuff. Now we need them to leave town. Max time in state is going to be set to 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, they're going to leave. Let's set it to 10. 10 seconds. All right, 10 seconds. They're going to leave the town. They're going to hopefully want a potion. And we'll try giving them that potion. Oh, also, hey, Amber. All right, let's turn off the sound. Bloop. New game. So we should see customers come in and want an item, and then they'll try to leave after a bit. Let's just speed this up. Yep, there we go. Now we're going to wait for them to leave. Yep, that one turned around, and that one should very soon. Come on, come on, come on. All right, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just go get that one. Can we give you an item? We can. Oh. Oh, and then they come back to town. Wow. Okay, I actually think we want to leave this behavior in then. Same with that person. Yeah. I think let's leave this behavior in. I want them to leave again. No, no, no. Good. Yep. All right, so I give you that one. Then you try walking out of town, but I give you your item. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, let's just leave this in. So we got to figure out where I put that in. Where is it? Oh, it's still on my branch? Really? What's my branch even called? More to do items too? This is where I did the customer desires thing. Yep, there it is. Allow dragging desired items on customers. Thanks to this, I don't think this issue is important anymore. You can now drag the desired items onto customers as they're leaving, and they'll be happy and come right back to your town. That commit is still in a branch for now, though. Yeah, close is not planned. It was a feature all along. Well, it was a feature it was a bug right up until 5 days ago. Because, yeah, I think this is good for Dark to point out. But now that you can give them items directly, I think it's a feature. This is new behavior. Yeah. This is, when I say 5 days ago, this is still in a branch, so it's still not live. You could not do this when you played the game. And enough people wanted to do this that it is now a feature. So the next time I publish, which might be today, might be tomorrow or the next day, then it'll be in the game. Because, yeah, there was a kind of funny quote by 3D Extended. I don't know if I can find it anymore. Maybe this. No, he said something like, I want to scream at the customers who walk away from the item that they need to buy and someone else takes it. How are you going to present it? Not at all. I'm just going to let players figure it out. And the way that you can tell is because when you click, it highlights them white. And then when you drag it over them, they get like an even thicker white boundary. And if you click even near them, it will drop the item onto them. So like I can click here and it'll still give it to them. So yeah, it's just one of those things where if people don't discover it, fine. They'll probably still have fun playing the game. But if they do discover it, then great. This will help them out. Yeah, that outline is the same thing we do for everything. So like if I click here, you'll see these get outlined. These are more colorful. And then same thing, the extractor gets outlined. So now this is outlined down here. The garbage line gets outlined. So that's how we indicate what the targets are for anything. All right, what's next? So now there is no page 10 anymore, right? Oh, well, there still is, but that's going to go away pretty soon. I didn't know that. I only dragged the items to the garbage line. Oh, interesting. Because that was what I wanted people to figure out. Like the garbage slime is a very important mechanic in the game, and that's where you learn that you can drag items. And I was hoping people would realize, oh, you can drag them into the shop, you can drag them out of the shop. You eventually learn you can drag them into the extractor as well. You eventually get the warehouse, and then dragging them to or from the warehouse could be interesting. So yeah, you're able to drag them wherever you want. And there are pretty large drop zones. So like you can click here and it'll put it into the shop. And same thing with the quests. I could click like here and it'll drop it in. So you can be pretty close to it, but not like super close. But like I said, if people don't know about that, I don't think it like drastically hampers your enjoyment of the game. Some people figure it out, some people don't. And eventually you get the quick move menu anyway. So if you get this, then now when you pick up an item, it gives you all the destinations right here. So if you didn't know before, this would teach you, oh, I can put items in the shop, or oh, I can put items into the tavern myself. Okay. So what's next? Update IGDB page before launch. Oh, I made this like a year ago. Hey, Musco Busto. Thanks for the resub. Yeah, you can't possibly fail. Yeah, exactly. There's no lose condition. Even in bone mode, there's no lose condition. You just don't necessarily get a medal. Imagine we had Kirby's inhale animation on the garbage line. Yeah, that would look pretty cool. All right, so what does it say right now? Laid back, idle game set in a vibrant fantasy world. You're a skeleton shopkeep who hires adventurers to collect loot for you after your untimely demise. Is there anything else we need to do? Oh, hey, the release dates got automatically put in here. I didn't do this. It links to all the right things already, too. Wow. So what do I need to update? Did I write it in here? New trailer, any social media links, etc. What's this? Why is this making sound? Don't I have YouTube muted? I guess it's because it's not coming from YouTube. When is this from? 11 months ago? Okay. So I guess I just need to put in a new trailer. Do I even control this? Last updated on January 1st. Did somebody do this? Is there like a history on here? I don't see a history feature. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah. Oh, there are screenshots in here too. Oh, wow, these are out of date. Okay, yeah, I should probably update that. Who did this? Update the supported languages. Okay, so this one we probably have to hold off on for a bit. So the dates don't need to be updated with any proper media, trailer, and screenshots. See this page in particular. Hey, who cares? How was lunch? It was good. It was good. I had some tacos. All right, so we can't do that yet. Well, I mean, we could, but I don't want to focus on that yet. Consider showing max party size next to battle party. It would just show X out of Y and it'd get updated when you change locations. I don't think we can do this anymore. Yeah, no, I don't think we can. Because there are some locations where if you're fighting the boss, you have one limit. And if you're fighting the regular battle, you have a different limit. And we don't know what you're going to choose yet. So I'll just close this. This can't really be done anymore. Wait, did we... I don't know if we even had the tooltips back when I wrote this, January 19th. We probably did. This can't really be done in the same way anymore. You now choose your party. I guess selecting a location doesn't indicate whether you want to fight the boss or not. And you have different limits depending on that. I don't think this was a huge deal to begin with, though. All right, close. Hey, Goose. Good afternoon. Man. As long as we're sort of talking about this Godik. My wife and I we've been going on some evening walks lately, and we went here. And this is, I mean, where this is doesn't really matter, but it's in like the Seattle-ish area. And I was like, if you took a picture of just this, you're taking a picture of probably like $500 million or more worth of houses. Like all the water facing properties are here. Kind of funny to think about. But it was really pretty in person. Like we'd never been to this location in the evening. And we've been on some other trails recently at evening time, and it's really nice. So peaceful and quiet. It still feels safe. She's trying to tell you something. No. I said this to her. we both just commented on how pretty it is. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Address leaks. See this gist. This is from a year ago. This probably doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah. I think these are all probably fixed, whatever these are. Yeah, I'm not even gonna look into this anymore. I recently looked into leaks and didn't see anything unusual. I think this is just obsolete at this point. Yeah, I'm telling her something. Hey, Sean. All right, consider adding a pop-up about how items now spawn in your warehouse. This one was pretty quick. Maybe confuse me after I purchase a warehouse. So yeah, a lot of people do this. They get into the game, they're playing it for a bit, then the warehouse becomes unlockable, and they click this and they just hit build. They just see they have enough money. They do not read this blob of text. It says allows you to store items without them disappearing, also causes items to spawn in the warehouse. So they don't read that, and then items start spawning, and they're like, why are they up here? So we could just pop up a quick notification saying like, you got the warehouse, items will now spawn in it or something. And it'd be very easy to do that. I still don't really know if it's necessary. People do figure it out. Yeah, so I think this was before we had item animations. But now items will fly from the portal into the warehouse. Let me make sure that's not actually a lie. It's only when you win a battle, though. So if I click this and then this, yeah, they fly into there. That helps a little bit, I think. I could add an ephemeral notification just for story mode. It's really cheap to do that. Yeah, like you just built the warehouse. Items will now appear inside it. Should we make it more important somehow? I don't think we can really make it more important. People will still just see that there's a buy button and then probably skip reading. But we could potentially have another way for you to pop it up again. Like there's an NPC there and they say, hey, this is your warehouse. And we put them over here somewhere and that's it. That's all they tell you. But like I said, it is the kind of thing that you'll just realize as you play, like, oh yeah, your items go here now. And you'll know that it's your warehouse because you'll see the upgrade thing because you have to click this like 15 times to get it to go away. Ever thought about doing a voice tutorial? No, not for this game. For one, I think the setting and voicing would be a little unusual. But two, any sort of localization you do would get drastically more complicated. But yeah, voicing this never really crossed my mind for longer than just, a moment. And then I dismissed it. Oh no, who cares? The preteen years. I think it's apparent enough how this works after a bit of observation. And I don't want to overload people with tips / notifications that they may not read anyway. Yeah, their name being who cares makes that difficult to sound sincere. All right, what about this? Make main money counter bigger. So in the main game, if we had a bunch of digits here, I guess we can't go up that high without me clicking like 400 times. So let's just save it and then go to the save file and change the money to 12579. That's probably way more money than you'd ever get in the game. Oh, you can't even have that much money. So how much can we increase the font size here and not have this go crazy? That's a question. Because I think we can make this a touch bigger, but I don't want to make it too much bigger. All right, so currency label. What is the current font size? Font size, it's whatever the default is. Is there an easy way to tell? I guess I could just do this and set it to 12. And yeah, so it's bigger than 12. It's 16 apparently. Yeah. So yeah, what if we change it to 18? So now it's just a little bit bigger. Wait, did that work? I don't know if that even worked. No, weirdly enough, it didn't change in the game. Huh? What's going on? I guess I need to reload for that to take effect. I shouldn't have needed to, though. I'm confused. Town menu maybe doesn't use currency label? What are you? It uses money label. Money label is different from... Oh, it's not that it's different. It inherits from it, but apparently the font size doesn't get inherited. It does get inherited. What's going on then? Okay, well, there we go. Now we can see it. So yeah, I don't know about that big. Maybe like 20 pixels or 20 whatever font size. And then I guess we increase this to... How do we increase this? Position scale 1.25. Yeah, that works. Yeah, man. Oh, hang on a second. Hey, I am still streaming. Okay. That was my wife. I always say the same thing. She must be calling because it's an emergency. She's never calling because it's an emergency. All right, so does that look better? I mean, you wouldn't have this much money normally. How many nines is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we give it 8 digits. Better call that could wait than having to deal with an actual emergency. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm just saying I answer on stream a lot of the time. And I don't normally like doing that when I'm, holding other people up, quote unquote. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Although I do think increasing the size of this is also pretty important if we do that. I wonder how much you can increase this by before it looks silly. There. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, I think 1.25 is probably good. And then probably giving this a little bit more breathing room. Like that. Oh, we don't need it that big. Yeah, then when you unlock the farm, where is the farm? And you get a bunch of this. This needs to be the same size too, probably. So we'd also set this to 20. Or what, 18? I don't know what I even set it to. 20 apparently. And then this also to like 1.25. I do want to bump it up a bit. I think 20 is too much. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, maybe just 18. Let me just change the spacing on that stuff. Yeah, that's probably good. Do these have a theme? Nope. Does the town menu have a theme for it? Nope. This one does. Town menu theme. Okay, so what do we have in here? There's a label, and the label specifically has the font size. Oh, it's already set to 18? What? Didn't I test this and say that it's 16? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let's delete everything. I want to start again here. Okay. So currency label. Oh, it doesn't matter what it's set to over here. It matters what it's set to in the scene because that's where the theme is actually taking effect. So this probably is font size, whatever I said, 18. So if I change this to specifically B18, it's not going to look any different, right? Yeah. I see. So it's already 18, so we need to bump it up to 20 at least. Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that. Now we have money label and we have currency label. What's the difference? Oh, right. The whole base class thing. Okay, so I want to change this to be 20. And then this to be a little bit bigger. And then the margin container to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, there. But that doesn't take effect in these scenes for some reason. Huh. No, it did. Oh, weird. Okay. Have they been gradual or from specific promotions? They've been mostly from 3 sources. So if you look at this graph, all history, you'll see a gigantic spike right there. That was during Next Fest. So Next Fest caused the first little bit of a spike, and then it got picked up by a couple of YouTubers who caused the rest of the spike. So it kind of looks like it's one source, but I feel like that was really two sources there. And then if we zoom out again, the only other spike you really see, there's like a tiny one there, maybe, and a tiny one there. But this newest one where it's been going up, I think is just because the game's about to release. So yeah. Give me validation. Wow, congrats on 20 streams of Pressel. That's so amazing of you. Yeah, so our chart mostly looks like this. Doop, 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 doop. And then maybe like that. Well, actually, I'm hoping that last little bit there is more like that. But yeah, a few things that made it rise by quite a lot. Can you feasibly align launch or pre-launch with another Twitch front page? Yes, I could feasibly do that. So I was rejected, I think, the last 4 times. So I think I'm going to say this time, hey, it's a launch of my game. You rejected me 4 times before this. You owe me one, Twitch. No, I'm not going to sound so entitled, but I will ask for it on March 17th. Yeah. I think that would help. The last front page time that I got, the slot that I got for that, I got, I think, 100 wish lists. And around that time, I was normally getting maybe like 10 wish lists. So it was like a 10x boost. I think if the game is out, instead of seeing wish lists, we might see some of those translate to sales, hopefully, or like demo plays or something. But yeah. Also, I just saw now wish list counts at 80 editions for today. That's pretty good. Western Europe, North America, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia. Yeah, I mean, it's really mostly just Europe and North America. I would expect Southeast Asia to care more if the game were localized. So we can reach 20K by March. Yeah, maybe. I think it's unlikely. Yeah, I'm happy about it, Presto, but I can't really take credit. I think it's just Steam pushing my game to more people. Which is not really me doing something. And I'm not really hearing a lot of feedback from these people either. So I'm not totally sure how to feel. Yeah. 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 Okay, so I ran this again, but I never actually looked at it. Let's go look at it. Yeah, I think that's bigger than it was. Does that look goofy now? It looks like comically large. I only increased it by from a font size of 18 to a font size of 20. Do people like that bigger display up there? Oh, it also increases these. I don't like that. I'm going to just undo this for now. Need some comma and decimal formatting. Well, most of the time it's not going to be such a large number to the point where the formatting doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I never thought about that. That could help. I think I'm going to not do this. Very torn. Yeah, I think I'm going to not do this. I like the comma thing. I tested this out and I just wasn't a fan for some reason. Ankibara. This is what it looks like when you increase the font size from 18 to 20 and also bump up the icon to 1.25x. It also affects this dialog, which looks weird. I'm gonna hold you to this, Torque. You're gonna be forced to buy the game, forced to play it on your stream for 2 consecutive months. All right, let's do the comma thing and see how that looks. Try formatting money with commas and see how it looks. Tried adding a margin in the top left menu so it doesn't stick out against the edge of the window. Might make it feel a little more comfy. I have not tried that, no. What do you think about the mentioned animation in the comment? I'm not a huge fan of this, I think. Because the thing is, you will probably frequently hit multiples of 100 or 1,000. Because imagine you're at 1,025 and then you spend 50, so now you're at 975, and then you acquire some money and now you're at 1,002, and like an animation happens. You'd probably wonder why it's happening. Plus, it's already animated, and I don't think it should attract more attention. Sure, you can pay me. I see what we're doing here. Let's try the breathing room thing. Town should have UI, which has the town menu, which is currently positioned all the way at the upper left. Where is the layout? Oh, whoops, it's the whole VBox container. Oh, this contains a notifier as well. So we can't do anything about that. I mean, we can move this whole thing. We set this to custom, and then the offset, we set this to like 5 and 5. Then it'll be pushed away from the side a little bit. I think even just pushing it away by like a couple pixels would be fine. Just to make it clear that it's not. No, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it needs to be at least a few pixels. Yeah, that's probably better. Oh yeah, I don't plan on doing the number formatting myself. I would just leave it to whatever C# does, because C# must have something for that built in already. So yeah, the problem here is that any notifications you get are also going to show up to the side. And then when you dismiss them, oh, that actually looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, let's keep that. Thanks, Mysterious. All right, so bump town menu into the screen a bit, or like add margin to town menu. Mysterious suggested adding this, so I put 4 pixels of space on the left and top sides. This also affects the notifier, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. Okay, now let's try what Cruddlefish had suggested. And yeah, we can use this. Number format strings. Currency. No, this is for actual real currency, right? Yeah, we can't do that. We want commas to be in it though. Where are commas? I don't see any commas in here. What? That's weird. All the ENUS ones. Oh, the formatting's at the bottom, not the top. Oh, okay. I think I'm looking at the wrong spot. All right, not that one. Not that one. Not that. Not that. I must be missing something. Where do commas actually come in here? Oh, wait, that is a comma? Am I blind? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how I missed that. All right, so just N. So if we go to C# playground and we click new and .NET 10. All right, so do like float number equals 1 point, or let's pick a really big number. Number.toString N. Yeah, but it's got decimal places. How do we get rid of those? N1. think we type N0. Oh, yeah, that worked. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I think we do. So now we go to currency label and we just get that to work. Where do we set .text here? Right there. So we do this colon N0. Done. All right, so it's a 3-character change. Let's see how it looks. I think it'll be good. And because of the commas, this will make it take up more space, which is kind of like increasing the font size. Does that look good? Or more specifically for Americans out there, does that look good? Because this is what you'd be used to seeing. And I guess in the UK as well. Much easier to read. Yeah. So now how do we test this in a different locale just to make absolutely certain this is working? Although I can't imagine it not working. We just do that. All right, so let's try this and do fr-fr. Where does culture info come from? The answer is travel, people. Travel. I'm hilarious. I don't know where it comes from. Oh, wait, there it is. Comes from, hello, where are you? System globalization. Wait, French uses spaces? I didn't know that. Is anyone French in here? Does that look normal to you? Let's go to French Wikipedia. Ah, here we are. And then type USA. And if we look at the GDP. Ah, yeah, here we go. Doesn't even matter about GDP. I don't know what this means. The size of the country. Our GDP is measured in square kilometers. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm cracking myself up right now. Yeah, this looks fine. All right, cool. Try EE. Try DEDE. I mean, I trust that this is going to work how you'd expect for any of these things. SRRS. Yeah. Might be non-breaking spaces. Yeah. I think we have it set in the label too, so that... In fact, actually, let's take a look at that. They probably are non-breaking spaces. FR, run, copy, just the space, Python 3, space equals what I copied. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's probably non-breaking. You're right. Try glhtf. I'm not trying all locales, and I'm not trying made-up locales. Format, currencies. Wait a second, though. We only do this in this one spot. We'd probably also want to do this over here. Because toward the end of the game, there's some pretty big numbers. But we can't fit a lot of commas in there. What's the most expensive purchase? 13,500? It's probably that one. Yeah, it's probably that one. Either way, it doesn't matter if it's 4 digits or 5 digits. In the US, you'd only put 1 comma. I don't think anything else costs as much, right? Maybe one of these. I don't remember how much this one costs. It's probably 10,000. So should I put them in here too? Well, let's just try it and see how it looks. I mean, it's not that hard to do. Purchased skill button, text equals. Update cost label. N0. There. Okay, so now we save this and reload. Oh, Godot crashed. Still giggling about the GDP in square kilometers thing. All right. So now perk should show up with commas. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. To my highly trained American brain. Just a little bit of an adjustment, that's all. But yeah, I think it's fine. If we do this here, though, we pretty much have to do it everywhere. Right? Might do a line break if you have a space in the number. No, well, yeah, actually, Godot might. But we could just set those to not break. Should I do this for health and power and everything as well? Can we right-click this? No, we can't. Oh, man. I think let's just do it for currencies for now. So is there anywhere else I need to do this? Probably on here, too. Which means we do it on these buttons. Yeah. So all these buttons pretty much. I'm not going to try other locales. I think it's fine. Town menu, update. There's some update button thing. What did I call it? Update perks button. Here it is. Button text. We just set it. We just set it. Wait, these are fine. There's a higher button though, isn't there? Where do we do that? This doesn't have a cost in it? Higher button. Huh. Switzerland has upper comma. Okay, that, I mean, could be worth testing. Because I didn't think about using different characters. D-E-C-H. Oh, they're just apostrophes? Those probably are fine. We can find out, though, by doing this. Add a label and try typing that in. And if that renders, then we're good. Yeah, I think we're fine. Yeah. Have worked on the game, but I ranked up in Dota. That's basically the same. That is basically the same. Are there achievements in Dota? Have you gotten all of them? What was I doing before this? Oh yeah, that's right. Setting whatever this thing is supposed to be set to. It says hire adventurer, and then there's a cost after it. Where do we put the cost in here? Oh, this isn't localized? Oh man. Whatever. Fine. All right, gold amount. I guess here we put .toString N0. Oh, I sure hope that works. Yeah. I don't think there are achievements. Really? I'm kind of surprised about that. Okay, so no change over there, but there should be a change over here now. But we need this to get expensive enough that it would need a comma. In English, that means, or not in English, in America, that means getting to 1,000, because that's the first number that needs a comma. And other locales, it might not be that high. Maybe 100 would be enough. Is there a locale that does that? I don't know how you even figure that out. You have to just like list all the locales and then see what they print out as. Okay, C# locale list. Let's just do it. It shouldn't take that long. Where do you find them? Do they really localize numbers or just render spaces? They probably localize numbers. I mean, it's easy enough to do that here too. All right, so we copy this entire list. Oh man, this is a huge list. Okay, I didn't expect it to be that long. So let's just do it the easier way then. We'll select that, and we'll just scroll to the bottom of the table and select the end. Good. Now we... Are these tab characters? They probably are tab characters. Yes, they are. So we do one of those and one of those. Now we have every single of the 560 of these of the locale things, right? So now we just have to iterate over those for each string code in codes. We type code here, and we type 1, 2, 3. Now we just need the codes. String codes equals this. Then we put it in here. And then we run this. And none of them are different. Okay. Well, that answered that question. Hi, cat. Want to sit down? You don't want to sit down? Oh, hang on one sec. Oh, wait. Stay. Good cat. All right. I had to turn off the heat. Yeah, so there is no locale, at least that I can see, that renders it as anything other than 1, 2, 3. And we can prove it by doing that. Yep. I can't believe she didn't press any buttons. Cats are actually pretty good at not stepping on things if they don't want to. Like, some people put a bunch of plastic cups on the floor or something and watch their cats just like step between them all very expertly. The furry CTO is here to monitor the workforce. Yes, she is. Hi, cat. Hey, Kappa. Ooh, soft cat. Yeah, come sit down. That's right. Kappa debated. Oh my god, she's so warm. Why, I had to turn off the heat. All right, so anywhere else that we want to do this? I guess in the end screen, probably over here, maybe. These cost gems. Upgrade points. You could technically have a ton of these, right? So maybe we should format those too. Upgrade points. Here it is, .to string and 0. All right, any other ones? Just the end screen of this probably. Let's just click one of these. Oh, interesting. This doesn't bring you to the right tab. Oh, that's a tiny bug. Starting a bone mode run when you haven't spent points, but have the unlocks tab selected, and clicking open upgrades won't switch tabs. That's pretty easy to fix. All right, so we go win this. Oh, wow, that magically worked. How did that magically work? Oh, because it's a currency thing. Wait, no, it's not a currency thing. What am I talking about? Money label in end screen? Oh, gold amount. Interesting. Okay, so this just naturally works. And we don't have any other large numbers here? No, that's it. All right. I'd say we're pretty good. Yeah, I think let's do this. So format currencies according to locale, e.g. in en-us, 12345 will render as 123, 456. It's called magic. You hear that, Abby? It's magic. She's happily cleaning herself. Okay. Note, I only did this with currencies. Oh, wait, what about upgrading an adventurer to level 20? that costs enough where this is a problem, right? What about 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4 is not a problem. My problem was is there any locale where 3 digits turns into 4 characters? And the answer is no. I don't mind if there's something that where 4 digits turns into 5 characters. That's okay. But I only need to answer this question. And I don't remember why. Oh yeah, because of costs of whatever I was looking at the time, which I've forgotten now. All right. So we level up to level 19, and we look at what this number is. What is this number? Yeah, okay, so that should probably be changed. Level up. Level up button. Where do we set the text of this thing? Here it is. Select cost .toString and 0. Maybe do it for health. I don't really want to do it for health because then we probably also have to do it for damage numbers and everything too, and then I'd probably end up changing like everything in the game. So I think I just want to do it for currencies. But it is possible for both of these numbers to be above 1,000. And probably by the end of the game, I think people end up getting to like level 20 or 30 or 40 in guild supplies. I don't know how much that gives you in terms of power, but in terms of health, that definitely pushes you above 1,000. Probably want a constant for the N0. I don't think we need one for that. I only did this with currencies, gold, and sludge. Health and power. Health, power, and damage numbers can also go above 999. But I don't want to modify every single string in the game right now. Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, I don't think probably many people are reading the damage numbers at that point. They're probably just like big numbers, go burr, and they're done. Yeah, so like this should say 1,080. But in terms of leveling up, let's go try that. Won't hurt to add a new Godot string or whatever we added recently. It's not that we'd add a new Godot string for this. The way we would solve this problem is by changing whoops. We'd end up changing everywhere that we set text. So like this, for example, we set where's this? What am I looking at right now? This is health delta. Where's the only place we set the text? I don't see parentheses. Oh, maybe they don't show in parentheses. Anyway, this HC.max life. So we'd have to just keep adding toString and 0 everywhere. And it's easy to do. We could certainly do this in all the different places that we do it. It's a lot. Theme properties. Maybe we're talking about different things. What I was talking about is, and maybe this is not what you were talking about, is health when it's above 999, we format it according to the locale. I mean, we format it no matter what, and it just doesn't do anything if it's below 1,000. But yeah, so instead of showing 1 or 1,500, it'd show 1,500. The way we do that is by changing what text is being rendered there. So we need to go through every single place in the game, which, yeah, for health is probably not too bad, but something like this, hurl whatever for 0 damage, like damage needs to be N0, not just 0. And then this is going to start to get weird when we have, yeah, other numbers. That'll mess with the translates. I don't think that'll work. No, I guess it would work, but we'd change it here anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's make sure we didn't change any source strings here. No, we didn't. Okay. So we now format the text on this button. When does it go above? There, right there, level 17. So now it says 1,000. We click it again, 1050, 1400. It is easier to read that way. I agree with what Cardlefish said. But once we're at this amount of power, do any of these things show large numbers? Maybe this isn't too much of a problem. Maybe Mushy does, everyone's favorite adventurer. How much damage does he do? 560. Okay, so that's not a ton, but when you get the treasure room and you get enough treasure rolling in, like if we grant ourselves every single one of these things, and then get the key grinder and then set all of these to Mushy. There, and then open them all. So now how much power does he have? He's at 274. That's still not enough. Did that work? That didn't work. But auto purchasing would make it work. Yes. There we go. Okay, how much is that now? Let's get a bunch of workers in here and speed this up. All right, level 26, 848 damage. And okay, so it's at 973 and it's a level 36. So once it's above level maybe like 40, it'll probably do 1,000. Yep. Okay, there it is. Level 43. It did 1060 or something. So yeah, these damage numbers can hit quadruple digits. I think it's just Mushy that hits it pretty quickly. These other characters are probably not approaching that at all. Yeah, 182, 61, 87. These are not big numbers. We could just do it for Mushy. Does anyone else even do a decent amount of damage? No. 149, 248. We already looked at Mushy. 18, 163. Boulder's probably a lot. What does Boulder do? 494. Okay. And then the rogue does almost no damage, right? 835, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I care. Now, technically, every single one of those numbers we just looked at could get to quadruple digits because this number is unbounded. You could just keep getting treasure chest after treasure chest after treasure chest and leave this running forever to the point where, yeah, you end up with a ton of items. All right, so now what's Mushy doing? 3,135. Yeah, but it's quite the grind to get up to 5 digits. And 5 digits probably doesn't even change anything for most locales. It's only once you get to maybe 6 digits for some of the locales. All right, well, anyway, that looks good. Okay, so chat, you now get to vote. Does Cruddlefish get a point for that suggestion? I'm giving Cruddlefish a point. It's not really a democracy in here. All right, so starting a bone mode run when you haven't spent points but have the unlocks tab selected, won't switch tabs. Yeah, so this one's pretty minor. It's also probably like 10 seconds to fix as soon as I find out where this is coming from. And then hang on, let me take a look. Mysterious also suggested something, although it was just adding margin. If she's at fewer points than you, then I will give her a point as well. Oh, I don't think she's earned a point. Oh, well, there we go. I try to be more generous with people's first point that they get. Isn't that right, Katso? All right, so what's that dialogue say? You have not spent any of your upgrade points. Open upgrades. And what does it do when you click this? Show meta perks? Is that the only place this is called? No, it's not. So it's really show meta perks and go to the right tab. Show upgrades. So it's this and then set selected tab somewhere. Meta perks tab container dot select. How do you do this? How do you do it? We don't have a switch to tab thing in here. We don't. All right, well, can't be that hard to add, right? This has a controller in it. Selected tab right there, upgrades. Public void select upgrades tab. Easy. And then this is select upgrades tab. Easy. Okay, now we can do it. You didn't give me time to put together a joke poll. Okay, Toulouse. Let's have you put together your joke poll. Hey, by the way, Toulouse, how's your cat doing? I've been thinking about her as I've been playing with Abby. What am I doing? We don't do this. We go over here, we click this, we click open upgrades, and then click unlock perks, and it should always bring us to that tab. Yeah, nice. This is like the most minor UX change, but it's pretty easy to do, so we might as well do it. Select upgrades tab when trying to start bone mode. Before this, it would show the right tab container, but not ensure that the correct tab was showing. This very slightly improves the UX. Oh, she passed. Oh, man. I don't think I knew that. And I'm very sorry to have brought that up after this much time. Looking into getting a couple new ones would have been lazy. Yeah, or if I did know that, I'm sorry that I forgot. But yeah, rest in peace, Lily. Hey, Mr. D-Boy, so pumped for this game. Are you 10,000 wishlist pumped for it? Anyway, yeah, I'm excited too. And going back just a step, so Toulouse, one of the things I've been talking to my wife about, our cat, she really, really likes this one toy. It's called the rat. And we've had all these different techniques for getting her to relinquish it. But all of them have failed now. And the newest one was giving her treats. And even that stopped. And I'm like, okay, what's it going to take at this point to get her to just like not stay with this toy? How do we get her to stop? And my wife was like, we could get another cat. And I'm like, yeah, but then we got to socialize them together and everything. So I think getting 2 new cats like from the get-go who are already bonded is massive. Coming my birthday? Not quite, but March. Wait, when's your birthday? And 10K? Well, we're not at 10K, just to be clear. I don't even remember what I wrote my title as. What is it? So close to 10K. Yeah. We're almost there. We are at 9738. So it's apparently gone up by 7 since I started the stream, I think. I would be home all the time. Let's see. I think you should know which fixes go into the changelog as you commit. So you have to go through recent commits on each release. Yeah, that's not a bad plan. Yeah. Then again, I don't really mind going through the changelog. They'll go up a lot closer to release because Steam will also push it. Mine went from 2K to 8K. Whoa, really? How close to release was that for you? Do you mind going through your data? I can even potentially save you a link and get you your own link for this. Mr. Farm Boy Steam. Yeah, so this is Mr. D-Boy's game. And if I give him this link, then he can tell me. And in exchange, I will post this into chat. Why don't you want them to play with the toy? So the problem with the toy, there are 2 problems. The bigger one is that if she doesn't let go, she eats the fur off the rat, and then the next morning she horks it up. And the second problem is it's an expensive toy. I don't really care so much about this one, although I don't want her going through like a $5 toy every single day. That's too expensive. But yeah, I do care about this one. So, and I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. We've tried a bunch of things. I don't want to get like super negative with her, like spraying her with water when she does this, but the positive reinforcement of giving her a treat, she's like gotten very smart about it. she'll drag her toy to where the treat is so that she can eat the toy and then immediately go back to her, or sorry, eat the treat and then immediately go back to eating her toy because that's what she does. And, and then she'll just like ignore the treat sometimes. You can have all the rats she wants. Well, she'll still eat them. If only she were interested in toys that didn't have fur. But she doesn't care about those. They have to look like a mouse for her. I thought real rats were involved. No, no. It's just a toy. It does look kind of like a mouse. I'll show you a picture of this. Yeah, this. This is what it looks like, which I assume tricks her little tiny walnut-sized brain into being like, "Oh my god, I have to kill this thing." And she's hilarious. She like somersaults and jumps and like she's like an action movie hero. It's very fun to watch. Okay, what do we do about this? A bit torn on this one, but we got feedback like this. I don't think we're going to do a mini map. But yeah, we could add a gear button in the upper right. Problem is, let's hold off on this. I think we could do this. I think the thing that would sound best to me would be a faded out gear button at the upper right that becomes opaque when you hover over it. It would just be a mouse-based proxy for the settings menu. You sell tickets, $5 a pop. Like I said, if she didn't, like, I think it's hurting her a bit. Cats do, you know, like cough up fur balls and stuff on their own. It's a way of kind of regulating what goes through the digestive tract. But I assume that stomach acid is like passing over her teeth as she's puking, and yeah, I don't think that's healthy. I lived in a farm-like area. We purposely would not feed the cats their maximum, so they'd go and catch mice. Worked very well. Yeah, yeah. That was the other solution that we had, is we could have her potentially be an outdoor cat, and maybe she'd get enough stimulation through that. But I think if we ever brought her outdoors, that she would just be like, I'm an outdoor cat now. You have to let me out whenever I want. I don't want her to be in any danger. She's been in our very safe place for a long time now. She's a very trusting cat. So this one I'm going to hold off on until later. I'll just keep moving. So prevent using scroll wheel on sliders. This sounds very easy to do. Is this still a problem? Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't see why anyone would want this to be the case. At least not in Skeleseller. I can use the scroll wheel here. So how do we turn that off? Hopefully it's just a property on the... Why is this not working? On the slider itself, but I doubt it is. I probably need to just override a function, which is still not hard to do. In-game menu, settings menu, here it is, yeah. So I click this. Does this have a way to stop the scroll wheel input? Scrollable. Oh, wow, nice. Huh. I doubted you, Godot. But look at you. Look at you. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. There, done. We had cats growing up, and maybe like 3 or 4 times, like a small handful of times over their entire lives, an actual mouse would get into our place. And then the cats would have a field day. I think if that ever happened here, that mouse would not live for very long. All right, so I'm going to try scrolling on all of these. So far, nothing. And what about over here? Yeah, cool. Okay. Can you scroll this? Oh, you can. This I don't really mind, but this has no real purpose. All right, take care, Torque. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the raid earlier today. Hope you sleep well. Have a good bed shift. prevents use like scrolling on sliders. This fixes 670. Okay, spell crystals can jitter. Zoom all the way out, zoom in by 1 tick. Zoom level should be 1.5. Cast a spell, resize the game window. Oh, what? Is still a problem? I mean, we don't have spell crystals in the game, but we do have the mana crystal. But I doubt this is still a problem. So we got to zoom out and then zoom in once. Now we're at 1.5. Now resize the game window after casting a spell. Is there an issue here? What is that black pixel? What is this doing here? Oh, yeah, they're not aligned. Yeah, you can link. Yeah, sure. Same here. Eyes are falling. So by talking about that, all right, take care, leave your girl. This is a month and right before release day, and release day is 1K more. Wow, yeah. And yeah, nice. It's kind of crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? Like, Steam essentially has an ion cannon of money that they can point at something. Like, if for one day, I don't know, take the worst performing game on Steam, and every single link on Steam points to that game for some reason, the game would probably make a lot of money, even though it's probably terrible. People would probably just be like, oh, I'm in on the meme now. How's your game dev going, Mr. D-Boy? And more importantly, how's your mentality around the game dev? Are you excited? Are you having fun? Are you like, I want to be done with this? So yeah, this is technically a problem here. I'm not really super concerned as long as it's not jittering. And it's not very noticeable. I'm stressed every day, really? All right, I want to take a picture of this. Losing all my hair, getting fat. And just to be clear here, we're talking like, this is not excitement stress. This is actual stress. Is it about performance of the game or deadlines or something? So the original problem doesn't seem to be happening anymore. When at 1.5x zoom, you can see little artifacts, but they're not too distracting. Oh, Cats was trying to pull my hand over. Game performance, expectations, etc., reviews. Yeah, man, I think game dev is kind of brutal sometimes. Like, there's very much a treat it as a hobby and treat it as a business kind of thing. And as a hobby, it's like rainbows and unicorns. Everything's great. Do whatever you want. If people like your game, awesome. But on the business side of things, it's like, sorry, hang on. I'm trying to use the mouse, but the cat has her claws like dug into my wrist so that she can use it as her pillow. Okay, stop. Yes, good. Okay, so I just read this term today, attention engineering. And I think this is going to happen more and more in the game dev space, where people are essentially going to optimize for what gets people to play a game. And it's going to feel like there's not as much passion and, I don't know, just not as much creativity probably. For me, it's a business, so I can't treat it as a hobby. Yeah, but the stress is presumably amped up, right? Since like a year ago. And I don't know. I think it's too bad. Oh, okay. Goodbye. You gonna go? Oh, my legs are mine again. Oh, whoops, I meant to close this. All right. Let's see. Cool cat. Thanks, you strike us. I think I might have missed. Is the wish list on Steam button set to hide on the release build? Hey, are you talking about this? Like, I don't think you can hide a wish list button. I'm not sure. No, in the main menu. Oh, yes, that is. Yeah. Or if it's not yet, there's an issue for it that I'm going to eventually get to. But I was thinking of just removing it altogether because wish listing the game, I think, is important if you're on the demo. But then I think we shouldn't even have it on the, where is it? I think we shouldn't even have it on the demo eventually. The demo will ask at the end, do you want to just buy the game on Steam? In fact, I think there's like some demo tip. Yeah, here. So pre-launch message says, consider wish listing. Oh, it should say the date, March 17th. On March 17th, yeah. Oh, this is going to break the string. No. Oh, man. That's why this sucks. But yeah, after it launches, it's going to say, you've unlocked the volcano, which marks the end of the demo content. We hope you had fun. Buying the game will let you continue from this point. The full game has several more locations, buildings, adventures, and even a roguelike game mode to unlock. Please consider checking it out. Also, Mr. D-Boy, are you public with your sales figures? I don't want to make you reveal something you haven't revealed elsewhere. Because one of the things that a lot of people are always curious about is like, what's the wishlist conversion rate for X game, whatever it is. And wishlists on their own are kind of pointless, right? They're an indicator of health and how much you marketed, how much Steam pushed your game. But a wishlist is not money. You can't pay your rent with wishlists. So it's all a question of like how much of those convert. And I think in general, wish lists are like I want to see how this game does. So maybe you wait for reviews or press, or I want to wait for this to be cheaper, or I want to wait until I have the money to spend or the time. I think that's generally how people treat wish lists. I treat them in another category. I want to wait for this game to be on Game Pass. So like I have 4 or 5 games on my wish list that I'll probably never buy on Steam, but if they're on Game Pass, I'll play them. Yeah. Thank you, Cuddlefish. I do appreciate that. But yeah, it'd be kind of nice if wishlist just, rose like, I don't know, just like this from start to finish. Although that would involve Steam not doing anything for you pretty much. So instead they rise like this. I think this would be a better predictor of success for people, and they could like stop if this line weren't going up fast enough. I did 5K first 2 weeks, then stopped. Now it's 1 to 2 a week, 10 to 20 if it's a sale going. I'm at 6K plus now. 6K plus sales? Because that sounds pretty good. And that's also a pretty good conversion rate, right? Like 25% of your wish list converted pretty much. Yeah. And isn't your game like $10? So I think that's pretty good. The thing is, for Scala Seller, it's gonna launch just as a game, not in early access, and I don't know how that's gonna change things. Because like I don't plan on developing unless the response is really good. I plan on just being like, okay, that's it. Scala Seller's out. I'll fix like big bugs or anything, but then it's just a game that's out. Whereas if you put it in early access, then people, if they like the game, they could keep getting excited and coming back and sharing with other people. Not some of my other buddies' money though, closer to $500,000. Yeah, but I mean that's true of pretty much any realm ever. If you compare yourself to somebody else, unless you're like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, then there's always going to be someone who's making more money than you. All right, I do want to change this, but this is going to cause me to have to do something later. So how about I just put this before we launch the next thing? If we do this, change pre-launch message to say on March 17th instead of just in March. Also should make sure that's actually the launch date. Yeah. This will involve updating weblate. Maybe we just don't even translate this message. Because this message literally should only exist until March 17th. Then it should cease to exist. So maybe we just always write it in English. Oh, also another thing I should do is make sure we've updated from weblate so that other languages appear correctly. Yeah, I don't want to do this right this second. So let's hold off on that. All right, I'm losing steam portion, so let's try to tackle some easy issues. How long have I been online for? Yeah, almost 6 hours. I think 6 hours is usually a pretty good target. Might be covered in that near matching, right? The only thing it would do with that near matching would tell you the source string. It wouldn't. Well, there's actually one other thing we need to do, which is like the string itself would change. It's updating weblate, and not just to copy paste the translations, but also to update them to be more specific. Now, the nice thing about this is just straight up English, right? Like the game will launch on March 17th, 2026. Like we can probably trust that this is a good translation in any of these languages. Now, I don't know for sure because I don't speak these languages, but yeah, I would trust this more because it's just a regular English sentence with no real vernacular in it. I didn't want to make the game $10, but the reviews were brutal, so I had to lower it from 13 to 10. Yeah, I'm planning on making mine 15 and having a sale at launch for probably like 20% off. And I don't know what people are going to say, because I think story mode is fun, but then I don't know if people will like going from story mode to bone mode. In bone mode, like more than doubles the length of the game probably. But if they don't like it, then yeah, I don't know what they're going to say. All right, what other easy peasy issues can we get through? Closing battle panel should reset the map drag. You started dragging the map in the battle panel and close it while dragging. The map will still be snapped to the mouse until you click it. Same happens with the game menu, and we decided not to fix this. For battle panel, it'll be confusing. Wait, so we do this, drag, and then close it? And then we're still dragging it now? Yeah. I don't really think this is a big deal. I also don't know how often people will do this. Yeah, whatever caused them to drag it in the first place, they can just stop when they get back to this thing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to change this. Also, I haven't heard this happen to anybody. This is still an issue, but I think it's low priority enough that we don't need to do anything. Someone can just click in the battle map again if they notice this happening, and it'll be fixed. Yeah. Also, the only way to get this to happen is to drag and then either press M on your keyboard or press escape on your keyboard. Or maybe, no, I guess you could technically press any hotkey for anything. But then, yeah, when you get back to the map, you'd be like, oh, whoops, I'm dragging it. And you just click again. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just not going to close this. Okay. Honestly, it's probably not that hard to just have fixed it either. But still, I don't know if it's worth putting in the time. All right, make UI and town sounds consistent. This one's a little bit difficult. Both are obviously not battle sounds, but the difference is from actions you trigger. Customer buys an item, it's a town sound, but when you bring an item, it's a UI sound. It means that the sound files themselves can't be associated to one or the other. It needs to be in the context of actually playing the sound. Oh, this would be a nightmare to go look through. I mean, not a very long nightmare, but a nightmare nonetheless. Any ideas what you've been working on for your next game? Yeah. I have an idea. I have been writing little notes and jokes and ideas for it for the last probably like year. But it's just a giant bulleted list of all those notes now. And at some point I got to go through and hammer it into a game. And then I'll probably stream the process too. What I'm trying to figure out, also, hang on, what time is it? It's 3:20. Okay, because the cat's going nuts right now. And it's like 4 p.m. is her feeding time, and we're still 40 minutes away. But yeah, what I'm trying to figure out right now is, what do I do on March 18th? Or maybe not March 18th. March 18th is probably still like panic and celebrate at the same time. But yeah, what do I do in April maybe of this year? And there are a few ideas I have. One was visit family for an extended amount of time, like 3 weeks or something. The other is just start the new game on stream. The other is, I don't know, just work on Skeleseller some more. And the other is take a break. Some of these are not mutually exclusive. Like I could visit family and work on the game, but not on stream. I'm here for it. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. You know, I do like I don't know, the just general game dev community. I think there are some good folks in it. And on Twitch too. I feel like I don't explore a lot of streams, but I do run into people here and there. And it's kind of cool to see. And it's nice to follow people's games too as they're making it. But yeah, so I don't know what this is going to be yet, and I don't really have the, quote unquote luxury to think about this too much yet. I think right now it is just all hands on deck for the next 69 days. It's really more like 68 because today's practically over. All right, so here's our issue. We have battle sounds, we have town sounds, and we have UI sounds. These are obvious. They're sounds during a battle. Town sounds are sounds outside of a battle that you don't trigger. And then these are sounds outside of a battle that you trigger. So something like dragging an item somewhere. And this would be a worker dragging an item somewhere. I should do a better job of categorizing these, and I haven't. But no one's ever talked about this. Honestly, I haven't seen anyone even mention these sliders and be like, what's the difference between town and UI? They just don't look that closely. And it's an advanced option anyway. So this makes me wonder how important it is. So here's, hey, Alt F4, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The real game dev comes after launch. Yeah, well, I've been through this process before with Botland, and it was just a slog, and it was a long slog too. Let me give the Alt F4 a raid, or a shout out. Excuse me. You don't raid someone back after they raid you. They're offline. And welcome in, Loki. Yeah, we're working on Skeleseller here. So this is going to launch in apparently 69 days. I just checked. It is a laid-back town management game. Let me turn on the sound using our new skull sliders. Look at these things. Yeah, anyway, so you send adventurers into battle. So we'll send our little rogue in here. And they fight automatically for you. And when you win, I'll speed this up. When you win, you earn items out of this little portal here. So we got a little potion. And our skeleton will bring it to a shop where these customers can go buy it. So you're managing the town, you're moving potions around, you're upgrading your adventurers, you're hiring new people, you're building out your town, getting upgrades for those things. There's a lot to do, a lot going on in the game. And it'll launch in 2 months. And whatever, 10 days. So yeah, we're very close to 10,000 wish lists. I don't think you should wish list the game unless you actually want the game. So like, I don't think we need to artificially inflate numbers, but we're very close, 253 away. Thank you, Loki. And hey, GMC. Looks like, or gives me Stardew Valley vibes. Yeah, I've heard that a lot from people. I think it's just the graphics that kind of give that impression. The gameplay is not really all that similar to Stardew. There is a farm that you can unlock. This is not meant to be a meme or anything. Like, I think this idea is very fitting for this game. We had graphics for it. So like, you can harvest crops. You can eventually grow out your farm a little bit. But like, that's it. The farm is confined to this screen. It's not some, like mega build out everything as a farm kind of thing. And you're not manually doing almost any of it. So what typically happens is you'll get these potions and your character will, I'll add some more workers here. Your characters will bring these potions to this extractor, which then plants seeds on the farm. They grow automatically. If we speed up the game, you'll see them fully grow. And then they'll come by and harvest them. And they hold the carrots in their little skeleton hands. Yeah. Hey, Martinez. Yeah, so there's been a lot going on lately. So yeah, what happens with these sounds? Yeah, so these are already fair. All right, the tooltips are fine. We just need to... The tooltips for the sound sliders are fine. We need to categorize the sounds properly. This probably means looking through every instance of a non-battle sound to see if it's unambiguous. I'm not going to do this right now, but I think this is still worth doing. Like, what's the point of having these sliders if we're not respecting them? But for now, let's turn that off. I've heard the music that I made for this game like 4,000 times at this point, and I don't dislike it, but I certainly don't want to keep playing it forever. I'm trying to get my Steam Deck supported. Latest fail is because I had click here in one of the labels. Another 2 to 4 weeks. Really? Oh, man. Although I guess that's just for the badge of Steam Deck support, right? Hey, Packer. Yeah, out of curiosity, how did you make your Steam Deck support work? Is it like proper controller support? Because for me, what I'm trying to get is just a virtual cursor support. So I can actually show this really quickly. If I have a controller and I use the right stick, I move the cursor. So you actually are kind of clicking places. Like I can still click battle map. I can choose this. I can press start battle. Sorry, I forgot which button I have it set to. I have it set to B. Yeah, I have it set to B. So there we go. So we just started a battle. So like, I don't know if saying click here would be bad, but this is probably not like full Steam Deck support. Yeah. I think you get like a yellow icon if you do that or something. Yeah, but I just don't know how we would possibly have gotten like full support for this, at least not in a reasonable amount of time, especially for things like this where it's like, okay, you level up, you get a skill point. We'd have to like properly do all this stuff. So as long as people can play it on their Steam Deck, which people have already played it, so I think that'll be fine, then I think it'll be okay. We also have a keybinds menu now where you can change a lot of this stuff. All this experience is broken. And as of just this morning, you can now use the left stick to actually scroll these dialogues. So anything that doesn't fit on screen, you can still use. But yeah, I think having like a proper check mark for Steam Deck is opening up a much larger audience. All right, what else can we do now? Improve burn the skill. I don't think we're going to do anything about this. But let's hold off on it for now. Make the settings button bigger on the title screen. I mean, this is pretty easy to do if all we're going to do is expand the size of the graphic. But then it won't fit in line with this. I wonder what the game looked like back in February. I have a build from January. That's maybe what they used. So we could go look at that one again. And then we have a build from April. So yeah, let's look at the January one. No, it's pretty much the same size it is now. Yeah, see the settings button here? This is what it looked like a year ago. And now here's what it looks like. And yeah, it's not drastically different. And some people complained back then they couldn't find the settings button. I don't know what we would do about this. We could increase the size of this a little bit. Although I don't know how we can increase the size of the Discord button because there's an actual logo behind that, right? We might need to download new art. Let's take a look. Where's the Discord button? Discord, here it is. All right, so what if I just expand this? Oh, that looks good. Well, it looks good enough. I mean, you can't expand it infinitely. All All right, so what if we just increase the size of this a little bit? How do we even do that? It's 100 by 100. What if we made it 125 by 125? And then I guess the same thing with the credits button. So now here's what this looks like. It's a little too big, I think. And it makes the Discord thing be very prominent. But a proper hassle to get everything working, a lot of reworking, let you know if it's actually worth it or not. I think it'll be hard for you to know exactly if it... Wait, what's the way I want to say this? Like, when you get Steam Deck support and you get that check mark, it will open this up to a bunch of people who are just looking for like Steam Deck games. So you might get, let's say, whatever, 1,000 sales. Well, then those people could tell other people about it, which would enhance any other leads you get. So it might result in quite a lot. I guess you'll know probably pretty well, depending on how your release schedule is, if you see quite a rise in that. I don't think it's worth changing a lot for this. Like, I think proper controller support, according to Steam, would probably take at least a month, because I'd have to rethink almost everything and like probably change some UIs. And yeah, I don't think a month at this point would have been worth it. Oh, by the way, Mr. D-Boy, as long as I have you here, one other quick question is, how do you feel your own marketing efforts compared to the Steam push that you witnessed? Like, was reaching out to people, influencers, or press super worthwhile in your opinion? Because this has been a lot of my own marketing, and you know, it's gone well enough. I think it's helped. But if you think about it, it's like, okay, my efforts might be like 1%, and then Steam and just whatever regular influencers who find it on their own might be 99%, to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, it's 1% more sales or something, but is 1% really worth it for the amount of time I put in? Probably not. Whereas if you felt like, okay, my efforts are, let's say, even 30%, you'd be like, okay, that's worth it. That's pretty significant. Half my sales are from Asia, and it helped that a ton of Asian YouTubers played it. But like, did you reach out to those YouTubers? Also, is your game localized? You did. Okay. Yeah. And is your game localized for like Chinese and Japanese and Korean? Because it's localized for 34 languages, Kappa. Is this because you have mostly icons in the game? Because I think we're going to have localization for French, German, Italian, maybe Portuguese, and Spanish. So it'll be like 4 other languages and maybe Portuguese. Klingon will be next year. A lot of players who are really clamoring for Klingon in the game, they just keep asking me like, Adam, I'm not going to play in English, but they're telling me in Klingon and I have to type it in Google Translate. Actually, does Google Translate even have Klingon? No. Kind of surprised about that. Does it have what's the Lord of the Rings language called? Oh, I really should know it, but I don't know it. But I don't think this seems to have joke languages in here. Use icons wherever I can instead of words. Yeah. Yeah, the translation burden for Skeleseller, I'd say, is moderately large. Like, it's like 1,400 strings per language. Klingon is not a real language. No, it's not a real language. It's from Star Trek. There are people who speak it, I'm pretty sure. Just like how there are probably people who speak Dothraki or something. But yeah, Sindarin. There we go. Yeah. But they're generally like turbo nerds. And I say that with some amount of like, I don't know, not reverence, but like a minor amount of respect. All right, any other things I can look at here that I can take care of? Yeah, like making the settings button bigger. We can't make it as big as I just did. I think this looks bad. Oh, it looks less bad at this size. I guess it looks worse when this is taking up like half your screen. Oh, wait, it's because... No, never mind. I was going to say, because it gets to a point where only some buttons get bigger, but they always get bigger together or not at all. Well, minor amount of respect, because I feel like it is... There's something to be said for learning any language, even if it's similar to your own. I think the place I kind of cut that off is it's like learning American English versus British English. Like there's no, I don't have any respect for that. They're practically the same language. But yeah, even something like learning whatever, Spanish, if you already know English, it's like, yeah, it's easier than it is to learn Korean, but it's not easy. So learning Klingon can't be easy, especially because it's made up and who knows how good of a language it actually is. But why would you do it? Why would you spend your time doing that? I do want to add fantasy languages. Yeah, I think these are all numbers game sorts of things, though. Like if you had 100 million players, some people might be like, "Oh, that's cool if they added that." But if you have 10,000 players, the odds of even having one person who's like, "Oh, cool, Elvish from Lord of the Rings is in here," the odds of them liking that would be pretty low. Kinslayer, I can't understand you. Can you translate to American English? I'm actually curious how you'll do this. Challenge accepted, hopefully. Oi, mate, what? God. There's a turn of phrase in British English, having a laugh, which I have not heard an American person probably ever say. But I like this. Having a laugh. Well, they don't say it laugh. All right, is there any other easy peasy one here? Clean up when sounds play. What is this? Oh. Save alone customers. Consider scrapping the vault. Is this even worth doing? I don't think this is worth doing. Battles also don't save. So there's some amount of reset when you load from a save file. And I think that's okay. Plus, people probably don't memorize which customers they had. I mean, they might. But yeah. All right, that's probably decent. So what are we... You know what? I think I'm going to merge this branch. Also, what is this? This is the change I made to... What's that one? Ooh, that's strange. How did I check in only a piece of this? Let me take a look at that. Let me just reload the whole project. The town menu should still be floating a little bit. Let's go try it out. Oh yeah, I made some changes here again. It got rid of anchor preset. How does it look in the game? Yeah, it looks fine. What about at this size? Yeah, it still looks fine. Huh. So I guess we just accept it? Yeah, I guess we just accept it. Add automatic Godot suggestion. It's deleting this preset for some reason. Rug. Yeah, not gonna do anything about that. Whoops, did not mean to click that. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, so here's the fun part. Issues 222. When I merge this branch, a bunch of these will get closed. I'm gonna say handle more to-do items. Again, this is a sort of like random collection of tasks that I had from my to-do list and from GitHub issues. Is translating just the store page to gauge regional interest a good strategy? Sorry if I missed some discussion. I imagine it's probably decent if Steam breaks down traffic by region, which they probably do. Yeah. With that said, your store page is really like two things that might need to be translated. There's all the text, and that's pretty obvious. But then anything in your images, like here, I have English within the images. So I'd probably need to get this all looking good in the game. And imagine having something like mage turning into like a large German string and it can't fit here. So you need to actually like fix that bug first and then make the German image and then put it on the German Steam page. And like, so it's not just, oh, run this through Google Translate or something. Although that's probably a decent start. And maybe your game doesn't have a bunch of English in it. Take care, Mr. D-Boy. Thank you for the information you gave, by the way. I think it's pretty helpful. And it's promising that hopefully the number of wish lists is going to rise starting in like mid-February. Yeah. All right, so I want to take a look at the commits really quick. Yeah, so many small improvements. We'll write patch notes eventually. Yeah, I don't think I can do that today. Man, crazy. Okay, let's go merge this. Oh, man. All right, so I think we're going to spend like 2 more days doing this stuff. And then I think we're going to start tackling just big issues. Then maybe we'll get back to small ones afterward. Because like none of these on their own are super important. But there are some very important issues. Actually, a couple of them are. All right, so merge this. Now watch this number drop. It's at 222 right now. Merge is done. We refresh. 216. Nice. Let's go fill out the journal. That worked, right? Yeah. Okay, down to 216 issues. Spent half the day on scroll containers. On getting scroll containers to work with a controller. Before settling on a pretty easy solution. Use camera keys. Yeah. Got to organize this list. Man. Okay. Well, if we don't do any more work today, then we're basically 68 days from launch. That is a little over 2 months of calendar days, but I mean, it's not 2 months of work days. Number of work days is 49. It's a little scary. Hey, Tyler. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped too. I'm excited to see what happens. The last game I launched was Botland, which I don't think is even on Steam anymore. But I was very hyped for this too, and it just didn't really pay off. It definitely didn't pay off monetarily, but I mean, there were a lot of people who played the game. It was free to play. So I think we had like 30,000 players or something, which that's a lot of people. But the game made like $700. And I just don't think it was a very fun game. I also looked through some of the median playtimes. Or not median playtimes, just playtime stats. And like a lot of people played for less than 10 minutes. That's probably to be expected when it's free to play. Like, oh, I'll check out this game. And then it turns out to be like a little too complex. Is there a German translation? There's about a third of a German translation. Yeah, we have 35%. So there will be a German translation, hopefully. You know the color code for the color of your mouse pointer. You want to get this exact mouse pointer? Engage privacy mode. Let me look it up. Pointer fill color. Here it is. 00066. Yeah. Are you trying to? Now you have to tell me. I gave you the colors. Now you have to tell me, why did you want the color? Because I like having a giant cursor. I think it helps as a streamer, but also that blue makes it just a little different. I use a pink cursor on Windows. What's the icon on the left side of that? Oh, engage privacy mode. You're talking about this thing? Over there? That's the screen. So like if I move VS Code around, you can kind of see it changing. If I show like a white screen somewhere, like about blank. No, that's not white. Hang on, let me try to make a white image here. Anyway, whatever, it's a screen. So, yeah. Color looks really prominent. Yeah, I think it's good. I think just increasing the size of the cursor, though, makes it pretty apparent where the mouse is, no matter where you have it. There's also a setting you can set where if you like move the cursor like this, it gets bigger. I don't see a point in that. Just have it gigantic from the get-go. I will say this, though. If you have a very large cursor set, then there are lots of times where you'll hover over something to see what it does, and the cursor will cover the tooltip. So it's really hard to tell what that thing does. Like, that was kind of a bad example, maybe over here. Yeah. So this says run and debug, but can you read that? Not really. So you have to like kind of move it away, but then you move it outside of the button and you can't see it anymore. And yeah, that's kind of tedious. Very few programs are aware of a giant mouse cursor. Chrome is one of them that's usually pretty good about it. For that not being able to see my cursor, yeah. Okay, well, I've been not going super fast the last like hour or so, but we made some good progress today. This stuff's on main. I'd like to push this probably by the end of the way. And you know what? I'd probably do this sooner, right? Maybe if I find some time, I can do this tonight. But yeah, the more I think about it, like, I should definitely publish today if I haven't already. There are like 50 to 60 people playing the demo each day, and they could benefit from these changes. Yeah. Okay, let's go find someone to raid. Oh, yeah. I'm working quite a lot here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go find someone new again. I like the person we raided the other time too. But yeah, I get into these habits of like, okay, let's go find someone else. So here's what we're looking for. Someone who hasn't been online for too long that I'm not already following. Oh, I'm not following Jamie Pine. Like someone I haven't raided before, basically. So like this person could work. This says 18 plus though. Wait, no, I probably am following Jamie Pine because I'm following Walfus. It just doesn't render this sometimes. Where do we have raid? Here we go. I don't care about if my sub numbers show or anything. It's never been private. Oh, now it's a different ordering of people. All right, so who hasn't been online for too long? This person hasn't been online for too long. Yeah, let's raid them. Okay. Yeah, I like finding out who's in the category, and this is a pretty good way to do it. I don't tend to watch a lot of Twitch to begin with, so a lot of people that I raid, even if I like them, I just kind of never drop by again. But yeah, let's check out this person for now. See what they're up to. I had to feed the cat soon anyway. So thanks for being here. If you'd like to join Discord, there's the link. I'll be back tomorrow, but it'll just be for the morning. And have a good one. Bye, everybody.